morning, traders. Welcome to today's Outlier Live, where we cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data has to say about it. First topic today is the U.S. economy added nearly 200,000 jobs. But is that actually a good thing? You'll be surprised at my answer. And second, there's a huge holiday scam going on right now. Don't fall victim to this scam. I'm going to teach you exactly what it is today. With all that and more on today's Outlier Live. The U.S. economy just added nearly 200,000 jobs, but is that actually a good thing? I don't know so much about that. Hey, if you're just tuning in, my name is Christopher. You'll cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data has to say about it. And if you're interested in that too, be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below and start trading with AI today. Head to OVTLYR.com to see why outliers win. Now, let's take a look at this. The U.S. economy added 199,000 jobs in November. Unemployment rate unexpectedly falls. Job growth rise more. I think they need to rewrite that. The job growth has risen more than expected in October, while unemployment rate ticks down. I don't know if ChatGPT wrote this or what, but I see two errors in that one sentence. So let's take a look at this. The U.S. job growth continued to chug along at a healthy pace in November, suggesting that the labor market remains resilient, even in the face of higher interest rates, stubborn inflation, and economic uncertainties, right? The unemployment rate unexpectedly fell to 3.7% after rising 3 straight months, driven by a sizable drop in the jobless rate for teenagers. Okay, this is where it all breaks apart. Driven by a sizable drop in the jobless rate for teenagers. Do we not actually think that teenagers are looking at the winter break coming up, looking at that, all the seasonal opportunities out there in retail and everything else, and saying, I should probably get a job? Or maybe it's even worse than that. Maybe it's even worse, and it's the fact that people are having to take second and third jobs. Maybe it's the fact that inflation is crippling so many households. Maybe it's the fact that people can't pay their bills, and now they're putting their kids to work. I think that could be a real case here, right? In another show of strength of the economy, average hourly earnings, a key measure of inflation, increased 0.4% for the month, which is great. It remains up 4% from the same time 1 year ago. That is great news, right? It's not always doom and gloom. We have a 4% increase from last year. That is some great news. Absolutely. Let's go down here. Job growth was concentrated in a handful of sectors, with the biggest being healthcare, government, and leisure and hospitality. The labor market has remained historically tight over the last year, defying economists' expectations for a slowdown. But there are some signs that cracks are beginning to appear after last year's blistering pace of growth. I think the real cracks are the fact that people are working day jobs, and then they're getting night jobs. Maybe they're driving Uber or DoorDash or something like that, just to keep up with inflation, right? They may say that there's all these new jobs created, but are they the one job for that person? I would venture not. I would venture a large majority of the 199,000 that were created were a second or even a third job. And they even said themselves, a lot of these are from teenagers. Teenagers looking for seasonal employment, or maybe just helping out their household. So I don't think all is sunshine and roses here. In fact, I think they're trying to cover up the fact that there are a lot of people hurting, right? Sorting through the noise, the picture is emerging one of a resilient but cooler labor market. Job gains have become less broad-based, labor demand continues to fall, and jobless claims are creeping higher as a sign of softer conditions, right? That's not the soft landing that the Fed is shooting for. It's softer conditions like, hey, recessionary type environment here. And I would not put this past the Biden administration to try and skew all these numbers in the best way they can to tell you this is not recessionary. This is great news. Don't you understand how awesome this is? That employment is going up and up. We have so many more people employed. When they have more people employed, they collect more tax revenue. And God knows we need all the tax revenue we can get these days because we're sending it to every other country instead of taking care of America. And a lot of these people, like I continue to say, I don't think that these are their first and full-time and only jobs that they're seeing, right? I think a lot of people are struggling these days. And this is reflective in the jobs numbers here. But beyond all of that, last month when we covered this topic, we talked about how October had added like 185-ish thousand jobs, but the 2 months prior, so August and September, the 2 months prior, they had revised them down by a cumulative 150,000 jobs. So October's gains was equivalent to what the revisions down were of the last 2 months. That's what this administration does. They lie to your face and then release the real numbers later when nobody's looking. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see here. And maybe, 30, 60 days or so, they're going to say, oh, we're going to revise that back down. And in fact, the last 2 months before that, we need to revise down as well. So nobody's actually making any jobs these days. We're just going to revise the numbers and then push them back up so that nobody can keep track of the shell game that we're doing. That's what I see. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about that. But let's take a look at what the AI trading data says for ADP. The biggest, largest payroll processor out there actually got a sell signal on December 11th. That's today. We got a sell signal today on ADP. And listen, I always pull up ADP whenever we're looking at the jobs numbers because they are the payroll processors. They are the people who are actively seeing how many checks are getting written, how big the checks are getting written, and what is actually going on out there. And if we're seeing a sell signal in this particular company here, ADP, I would definitely be very wary, right? I would be looking to see what is going on, what under the hood is happening out there. And the AI trading data makes that a lot easier for you with just easy buys and sell signals like that. And in fact, if you've been taking a look at ADP and following these signal returns, you'd have seen a 71.91% return, which is not too shabby at all. So if you want to get your hands on these AI trading signals and be one of the first people that knows exactly what the AI trading data is saying, be sure to head to OVTLYR.com right now to see why outliers win. So let's take a look at what the internet is saying about this, right? U.S. employment rate for November came in at 3.7%, below the expectations of 3.9%. This person says, I bet the data gets revised down next month. Oh, that's exactly what I was saying, right? Just wait for the adjustments late on a Friday when nobody is watching, right? Remember when the government actually gave real numbers? I don't know if they actually ever did, but I do know that we've got some major issues out there. And continuing to say that job growth is like amazing, things are great, actually, in my opinion, just shows that the American economy right now is in a worse place than it should be, right? Instead of these people being at home and spending time with their families, these people are out working a second or even a third job just to try to keep up with inflation. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. Are we all struggling with inflation and these are additional jobs being created to offset that? Or is the American economy just hunky-dory and it's all just in my head? Let me know in the comments down below. Here is a disturbing new scam that you definitely need to be aware of. I actually just this weekend was at Costco buying gift cards for my son's teachers and for different family members. And, at Costco, you get these almost like giant clipboard sized things that are like, 50 or two $50 certificates for $40 or something like that. We bought some for Einstein's Bagels and Honey Baked Hams, and you don't actually get the gift card until you hand it to the person at the merchandise counter, I think is what it's called, and then they give you back the actual gift cards. So we did that over the weekend, and so when I saw this, I was like, definitely something to be watching for. Holiday shoppers warned about a disturbing gift card scam that's padding Chinese bank accounts. Ooh, China. I was on a phone call last week and we were talking about China for one thing or another. And I kept saying China, like Trump would do. Let me tell you about China. Yeah. Anyway, the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office Operation Bad Elf netted 258 felony and misdemeanor arrests. That's not insignificant at all. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office is warning the public of a very disturbing, very sophisticated gift card scam that has national and international implications. So be sure you do not click off this video because this is pretty interesting. I was excited to read through all this. And before we get into that, my name is Christopher Yule and I cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data has to say about it. So if you are interested in that too, be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below. And start trading with AI today. Head to OVTLYR.com to see why outliers win. The sheriff's office told Fox News Digital this week that it carried out a massive anti-retail theft operation at big box stores across the country, netting 285 felony and misdemeanor arrests in 7 days. Among those targeted was a Chinese national who was found to be in possession of thousands of Target and Apple gift cards. The office said that investigators witnessed Mr. Sun take the gift cards off a rack in a Target store and put them inside of his jacket. Authorities said the suspect then replaced the missing cards with another set of seemingly identical ones. Okay, so he's taking them off the rack, he's stuffing them in his jacket, right? Like old school, hey kid, you want to buy some gift cards, right? Exactly that. And then he's putting some back on the shelf. So why is he putting them back on the shelf, right? The guy blew up like a piñata at a kid's birthday party, spilling out gift cards from his jacket whenever they arrested him, which I think is a hilarious way to describe the arrest there. But the way he did that was he would allegedly obtain legitimate gift cards from store shelves and surgically remove the glue that covers the card's barcodes. You know, we've all done that, right? You get the gift card and you have to peel off the little card on the back, or the little scratch off thing on the back. He would allegedly record the PIN numbers, reconceal the barcodes, and glue them back and return the cards to the store shelves, right? So he's taking some off, he's putting them in his jacket to take home and rip off the scratch off part, and then he's taking the ones that he's already replaced and got the PIN numbers off of and put them back on the shelf. Dude's a little assembly line for allegedly an assembly line for gift card theft, right? After the arrest, detectives made their way to his car and found thousands of Apple and Target gift cards. So dude's just loading them up in his car. The investigation revealed that it was part of a scam that tampered with gift cards, scanned the barcode, stole the money. Okay, they tampered with the gift cards, they scanned the barcode, and stole the money from the gift card as money was loaded onto them. Victims were completely unaware as it's happening, and the money is often siphoned to an offshore account within seconds. So imagine you go to Target, you buy an Apple gift card, you go up to the counter, you say, I need a $75 Apple gift card, right? And so they scan it, you swipe your payment card, they give you the gift card back, you've got the receipt, you're walking out the door. That money's already been transferred to an offshore account within seconds. That was scary when I read that. I was like, wow, you don't even know. You did, before you even get to your car, your money's stolen, right? After the tampered gift cards were returned to the shelves, unsuspecting shoppers would then purchase one of the cards and load funds onto it, and they would immediately be transferred to an offshore bank account. And here's the part that really got me as well. It's going to go unreported because are you going to confront somebody that gave you a $0 gift card, right? No, that's rude. And you're sitting there fat, dumb, and happy. I didn't say this. This is written on the article. No, that's rude. You're sitting there fat, dumb, and happy thinking, oh, did somebody, I did something nice for somebody, not knowing that your money is gone, right? They're trying to say, you're giving these gift cards to people. The recipient, right? You gave me a gift card. I'm so stoked about it. I can't wait to go into Apple iTunes and I don't know, download an Adele album or whatever you do on Apple iTunes these days. And it said zero balance. So I'm like, well, how? That sucks. You know, Jane didn't know that she had given me a $0 gift card. I don't know. Maybe she got an old card and it swapped around or something like that. In fact, this happened to my wife once. Not necessarily the scam, but she got a gift card and she was so excited to use it. She goes to swipe it, it had zero balance on it, and it was a gift from somebody. So maybe this happened to her, but this was a couple years ago. But yeah, you're not going to go and report that. What are you going to do? You're going to call the cops and be like, hey, Mr. McMillan gave me a card with nothing on it. I think he stole some money from me. No. And that's what they're saying here, right? It's a brilliant scam because nobody is going to report these, right? Shoppers were warned to keep alert for any signs of tampering, like scuff marks or scratches near the barcode. They give a decent example right here. You got some scuff marks and some scratches right on that barcode. So yeah, definitely be aware of that in this holiday shopping season as you're buying your gifts. And you also need to be aware of the Target AI signals that we got out there, right? We got a sell signal back on November 10th. So if you are a Target shareholder, now may be the time to get out and take your gains while the getting's good, because we've seen signal returns from Target at 185.28%. 185.28% following these AI trading signals. So if you want to get your hands on these signals, be one of the first people out there to know exactly what's happening, head to OVTLYR.com to see what outliers win. Now let's go see what the internet's saying about this, right? Holiday shoppers warned of disturbing gift card scam, likely padding Chinese bank accounts. This person says, time to lock up the gift cards now, right? This person says they're just walking right across the border. No gift cards for Christmas this year. One wouldn't be able to identify their sophisticated tampering. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, locking up the gift cards. I don't know how many videos I've seen of Targets, especially when you, and this is in blue Democrat-run cities, where you go in and like nearly every shelf is just locked off. They're going to be locking up the gift cards next to combat this, I'm sure. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you think that this is going to happen, or has this happened to you? And what are you going to be doing to offset the possibility of this happening? What are you going to do to make sure that this doesn't happen to you? And also, what are you going to do about one of these two videos? YouTube thinks that you're going to love one of them. It tells me every single time we make a video, these are the videos that you want to see next. So be sure to click one of those to watch more, and I'll see you on the next episode.